Well, this is today's video devotional commentary for Friday, March the 26th. Our scripture reading today is Leviticus chapter 5 and 6. And I've titled this devotional, No Such Thing as a Secret Sin. Now, there are two different sacrificial offerings that we will find in Leviticus 5 and Leviticus 6. Now, the one found in Leviticus 5 in the first 13 verses is that of the trespass offering. The second found in Leviticus 5:14 and all the way through to chapter 6 and verse 7 is the reparation offering. Now, let me give you a little bit of the background. We're continuing our study of various sacrificial offerings. And with today's trespass offering being the subject of this first part of this video. Now, the first offense that required a trespass offering was for a sin of omission. Now, when a man was tried for failing to keep an oath, it was required of one who was a witness to his failure to come forward and bear witness. The failure to come forward and the failure to bear witness of another's sin required a sacrifice of atonement. In other words, if you were the witness of a crime, a violation of God's law, an act of violence or trespass against someone else, God required you who had witnessed it to come forward and give a testimony in the Jewish court. There was also the trespass of touching an unclean, of touching a beast, of a dead beast, and it was considered an unclean act. And then thirdly, there was the offense of swearing an oath, giving a vow, promising to do something, but then failing to keep it. Such was a sin and required a trespass offering. Now, three different trespass or purifications offerings might be offered to atone for a sinner's guilt, beginning in Leviticus 5, verse 6 through 13. There was the economic means of one guilty of a trespass dictated the amount which he was offered. In other words, the wealthier you were, the greater would be the required offering for your trespass offering. And a man's wealth that had committed a trespass would be required to, a wealthy man would be required to bring a female from the flock, a lamb or a kid of the goats for a sin offering, and the priest would make an atonement for him. Again, a man who did not have the same wealthy means of a rich man, not able to bring a lamb or a goat, could bring 2 turtle doves and 2 young pigeons to the Lord. They too would be offered following the protocol that was set by God for that offering. And then thirdly, if a man was very poor, that is unable to even afford the lesser trespass offering, 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, he could bring for his offering the 10th part of an ephah of fine flour for a sin offering. And we read that he shall put no oil on it, neither shall he put any frankincense thereon, for it is a sin offering. And such it would be determined by the priest. Now, there's much said today about reparations, and I'm not really going to take time to go into that, but let's look at it in its biblical roots. Leviticus 5 verse 14 all the way through Leviticus 6 and verse 7. Unlike the trespass offering, a reparation offering was required, now listen, when a man failed to give of that which the Lord required. An example would have been the failure to give a tithe or give an offering of first fruits. To make amends to the Lord, a sinner would be required to not only offer a ram without blemish out of the flocks, but an additional sacrifice described as the 5th part. Now, what is this 5th part? Well, it was 20% more than what God would have required. Don't skip on that which you owe God, because he will require later more than you owe today. So given a 5th part meant that the reparation sacrifice was equal to 120% more than what the law required. And so we ask ourselves, what was the Lord teaching his people? Well, he was teaching them the need to have a sensitive conscience and an appreciation of one's responsibility to the Lord. After all, whether it is a vow that no man heard, a promise that no man heard, or a vow that others did hear, God holds you accountable. And there is no such thing as a secret sin. Go, serve the Lord, and obey Him. That's how you can enjoy God's blessing. Without that, failure to keep your promise, failure to keep your vow, failure to give unto the Lord as He would require, God will require more tomorrow than He requires today. Let's go out and be faithful in all that God has given us. God bless you, and bye-bye.